Yes, never give up on your dreams. At the end of this video, we should learn at least one thing, and that is that we must never give up on our dreams. It is important for people to learn not to give up on their dreams. I will tell you a story to, follow up this fact. A story that will tell you how possible it is to keep your dreams. It is true that some people are born writers, while some people are made to be writers. But the story I'm going to tell you today will show you, or will buttress the fact that some people are or were born writers. This young lady had a number of siblings. Back in the days, television was not the in thing. People hardly had television at home. So when children come back home, they virtually have nothing to do. They remain very, very bored. Consequently, they begin to play some funny pranks. But this lady was such that she knew these facts. She knew that children are very restless, especially when they don't have anything to do. So what she does from time to time is to bring them together, because there are quite a number of them at home. She brings them together and begins to tell them stories, very interesting stories, because she was good at telling stories. She would put them together, and begin to tell them stories. In those days, stories were not written down. She tells stories because she likes telling stories. She writes nothing down, but just keeps telling stories. The stories keep flowing because she is interested in, she has interest, quite a lot of interest in storytelling. How did she get to understand or know the stories she was telling? It was because of the interest she had in newspaper writings. Each time she comes across a particular type of newspaper, she would take that paper and begin to read through the paper. You begin to read through the story versions of that paper. As a result, she became very close, or very, used to some writers in that newspaper, especially one that she knew properly, she knew very well. She began to use that journalist as a role model. She would look, children now, how they use people as their role model. She takes interest in her, she takes interest in what she does, how she does it, and she began to dream of becoming something like her. He began to dream that she was going to, when she grows up, she will be like her. Hence, she began to take considerable interest in telling stories. She took so much likeness in that particular lady that when the time came for her to advance her studies into the university, she decided to do journalism. Decided to read journalism so as to really become like, her role model. This was such that when she was so good that when she got into her fresh year in the university, her English tutor took liking for her, took interest in her, and decided to put her amongst a group of people that are to attend a certain course, a certain seminar really. The seminar was on creative writing, and the head of that seminar was a professor that came from a very popular university in that environment. The seminar was to last about 6 months. And this seminar involves, writings, and then from time to time, lectures are given, eventually assignments are given, to write a few things on whatever you like to write. So it so happened that they were asked to write a short story. After writing this story, they were to submit it, and then each person will now come and defend the story they wrote. So they will sit together and they will critique that story, and the person is expected to defend it. That was what they were doing. Remember, she was in her fresh year, and she was amongst, some older students who were already 2-3 years in the university. So that was what was happening. They were defending their stories until one day, it had not got to her turn really to defend her own story. So the professor telephoned them and asked her to come to his office. She was surprised. So she went. When she got to the office, the professor was very, very, annoyed with her. He was just telling her, you are not good in your writing. Why did you write this rubbish? How come you came into this course? Why did you come to this course at all? Because you are not good at all. Your parents have wasted money. If I were your parents, I will not continue to sponsor you, and stuff like that. She was very, very, aggressive with her in addressing her. She felt very bad because she has dreamt about, this course for a very long time. But this professor was doing nothing but discouraging her. When she was very bitter about the whole thing. When she now summoned courage to ask the professor what the problem was really, the professor told him downright that you are not good, you cannot continue on this course, you have to look for some other course to do, you cannot continue to waste money endlessly, your parents' money endlessly. It was obvious that the professor doesn't even like her presence in that seminar. So when she now summoned, she couldn't talk, she was dumbfounded. When she now summoned courage to ask the professor what the problem was, he told her outrightly that she was not good. She was just wasting time. That because the course was such that you have to get certain A's in the course before you can qualify for the whole thing. Unfortunately, the course is an integral part of the whole, that seminar is an integral part of the whole course she was doing. And you have to get some very good marks before you can, finish your course. So when she asked the professor what she has to do, considering what he has just told her, the professor told him that, look, the best you can do is to stop writing anything in this course. That if she promises him that she will not write anything again, that he will ensure he just passes and goes away. So at the end of the day, she accepted what the professor told her. Being the type that accepts what authorities say, she just took her things, summoned courage, picked her materials and left the office. She went to her dormitory, set the materials ablaze, and decided to forget about the whole thing. Many years after this experience or this encounter with the professor, she and her family traveled to another part of town. So she came across a crime scene. The environment had been cordoned off. So she looked around and saw some group of journalists under a canopy. So she took interest in what they were doing and began to praise them for the good work they are doing. She began to praise them for their ability to disseminate information to people at home, who are hungry for news, who want to hear what is happening in town. She told them that that was really what she wanted to do in life, but she couldn't continue. So while she was praising them and saying all this, one of the men who appeared to be the leader of the group asked her why she was not writing if she had so much interest in being a journalist. She now began to narrate her ordeal with the professor many years back. So the man told her that, look, if you really were interested in being a writer, why don't you start writing? Why should anybody discourage you from writing? Don't let anybody discourage you. If you have interest in writing, go ahead and write. Start writing and, let me have what you have written. She was very happy with what the man told her and then left the place. So when she was going home, she decided to buy all the materials that will enable her write on the way home. When she got home, she started writing a novel. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a typewriter, and a typewriter was very important then, before you can, be a writer. So she had to borrow from a friend of hers and began to type and began to write. At the end of the day, she was able to write a manuscript of about 400 pages, which she eventually sent to that man. When the manuscript got to the man, he looked at it and agreed that she was a real writer. So he quickly sent the manuscript to their head office, where it was vetted and was discovered to be a well-written one. So she telephoned the lady and told her that, look, your material was well received, that you are a very good writer, that somebody will soon be calling you within the next 1 hour. Somebody will call you from their head office to discuss the manuscript with you. She was very happy when she had that. So within the next 1 hour, somebody really called her from the head office and began to discuss the manuscript. The person told her that she was very good in writing, that what she wrote was well accepted, that they were ready to sign a contract with her. So it was that at the end of the day, the material went for publishing. And you can imagine that two publishing companies were fighting heads over heels as to who would publish that material. That was somebody whom a professor told that she would not do well. So eventually, the material was published and it made headlines around the country. So 20 years later, or thereabouts, this lady was able to publish close to 20 novels and still counting. So eventually she visited a specialist friend of hers and told the specialist the whole story. The specialist looked at what she told him and advised that that professor was just envious of her. That the professor saw her raw talents and wanted to kill the talent there and then. So when the lady heard this, she swore that she will never ever go back on her dreams again. That anytime she has a dream, she has to make sure that she, works towards it. So I don't know if you have had such an encounter, if you have a dream and somebody is trying to kill that dream for you, you better not give up on your dreams. Thank you very much for listening.